So, the biggest question on your mind right now, I'm sure, is what is identity work and how is it any different to everything else that I've tried thus far? Well, the truth is, and I'm going to put it really, really simply for you, is identity simply is who you believe you are. That's it. Who you believe you are. And this is why a lot of women, when they have gone down the self-development rabbit hole and they've tried all the things, aside from identity work, they have found temporary or short-lived results, basically. And the reason for that is because a lot of the things that we are taught in the self-development industry are very much surface level things. Now, for many people, they will naturally go towards these things because it's what's the known things to do. The journaling, the affirmations, therapy even. And all of those have their place, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm not squashing any of those ways of doing things. But what I am saying is, if you're doing those things and you're not addressing the core driver, as in your identity, then what you will find is that you will slip back very easily. So with identity being who you believe you are, I want to give you an example of this. So if you are somebody that actually believes they are really unattractive and they're never good at getting a date, or people never come up to you and ask you for a date or pursue you, or you're just that person in the corner. So if you have that identity, your confidence will not be where it could be, let's be honest, all right? And then you decide to start working on communication or start practicing some kind of behavior surface level thing, like it could be how to speak in a more feminine way, and you start doing that. What you will find, and let me know if you've experienced this, is that there will feel like a misalignment. For a lot of women, they have come back and said to me, this feels fake, this doesn't feel like me, there feels like there's a disconnect here, and they drop off of it. Whereas if we work on the identity of the confident woman who takes up space in a room when she walks in, who is magnetic, who chooses herself, so therefore she's, like always chosen by people or wanted by people, right? Not to say that you should always be wanted by everyone, but you know what I mean. It is a very different identity you're working from, which will then lead to a very different set of results. So we're working at the core. Now, the truth is, a lot of people are afraid that when they do identity work, they're going to change. Okay, so let me help you out on this. When we do identity work, we're not changing who you are, okay? We are, if you can imagine, you're like a TV and you have different channels. We're switching channels. That's it. You're still a TV, right? Like, you haven't turned into a DVD player, if anyone even uses those anymore. You are still a TV. You've just changed channels. Does that make sense? Okay. So a lot of people, when they think about identity work or they come across it, they're actually fearful that their whole life will change. But the truth is, you change, from the aspect of you switch channel. Okay, you'll still hold the same set of values, you'll still be the amazing, beautiful person that you are. You will just come from a different standard because you're coming from a different identity, but that identity already resides within you, if that makes sense. So when we work together, we just tweak that, we just switch the channel and get you operating from a different identity so that you can start seeing different results. Okay, if you are working from an identity where there is a core belief of I never get what I want, then absolutely, no matter what surface level things you are doing, you are going to find that there are temporary results and you're going to be quite disappointed and it will be disheartening for you, okay? I firmly believe as women nowadays, we need to be very mindful of our time and our energy and where we put it, right? So this is why I say identity work all the way, because it gets straight to the core of everything. It cuts through all the noise and you get long-lasting transformative results. Now, absolutely, you can do this on your own. However, I will tell you from personal experience that actually it will take a lot longer. It just does, okay? Mentorship is the thing that will absolutely accelerate you and hold you throughout the process, because your brain, your old identity, will be gripping onto what has been before and want to pull you back because that's what feels safe. All right. So when you go down this journey, I always say to women, get some support or some longer term mentorship or a container where you are held and you feel supported, because there absolutely will be times where your brain wants to pull you back. Been there, done that, still go through it myself. Okay, so I too have mentorship. But that is essentially what identity is. It is a set of beliefs that you have collected throughout your life, through experiences, through childhood, through growing up, that has formed your identity. And from that identity, you've acquired a certain mindset. And from that, you've shown up in the world as you are. So if you are not enjoying your relationships and you want to elevate them, whether that's in parenting, friendships, love and dating, long-term relationships, absolutely they can change, they can shift. And it's just a small, impactful tweak that will absolutely change your life. If you've got any questions around identity work, if you've got any questions where maybe I can support you with your relationships or where you're currently at, send me a message. I'd love to hear from all of you, and sending you lots of love. Bye.